Oh hey, look, it's the Connordore. You know what that means, don't you? Yes, don't worry, what you clicked on is correct. As probably the most anticipated newcomer in the Toxiquid Fighters Pass 2, let's take a look today at what potentially Doctor Eggman time! What's crack-a-lack Toxic Crew? My name is Toxiquid, and hey look, it's my good friend and returning co-host Connordore appearing from the Connordore. How you doing, pal?
I mean, I was stuck in there for the past 9 months, but I guess I'm doing pretty good. I heard you were talking about Doctor Eggman, and since I got nothing else going on, I figured I could be of some use. Also, it's about time you added some AAA to your Fighter Pass, Mr. Indie Game.
Oh, you can't blame me for having indie games be so damn original and fun, but I digress. And as I was saying before I got interrupted, yeah, today we're going to be looking at a hypothetical Doctor Eggman moveset, and be careful, this isn't your grandma's Doctor Eggman.
Yeah, we're going to be taking a really different approach to how we design a Robotnik this time around. We're designing him in such a way so that he's distinguished from all the design iterations that the three of us have seen throughout the years.
Well said, Connor. This will be a complete DLC fighter concept, complete with moveset, stage, spirits, the whole shebang. And so, without further ado, let's get right into it.
Wait, hold on, did I just say 3 people? Wait, Jacob, who's the third person?
Eggman homes in with the Eggmobile, but wait a minute, it lands and transforms? Yes, this is the EMech Mark II and is a modernized version of the classic battle armor found in Sonic the Fighters and will be how Eggman does everything in Smash.
Everything is going to be done through the EMech. This includes attacking, recovering, dodging his attacks, and even normal movement. And yeah, we're aware of how bulky this looks, but we've made special consideration for how to handle size and have come up with a set of proportions based on how Eggman is planning to traverse the battlefield, and how he's going to look relative to the other players. But don't make the assumption that Eggman is just going to punch and kick with these robot limbs. No. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised in how wacky we can make this Egghead.
For one, there's a gimmick that can be easily demonstrated as so. If you look over here at this mock-up UI, you'll see that there's this little gauge here. Now look what happens when Eggman jumps. Yup, Eggman basically has a Peach or Daisy hover, but unlike them, they can't just infinitely use it again after landing. You gotta wait a bit for it. So yeah, a super heavy with a hover. That sounds like trouble.
Starting off with some of his standard attacks, there's the Combo Swing Arm from Sonic the Fighters. It's a 1-2 punch with its huge claws, finishing with a rapidly swinging arm rotating from the robot's shoulder. The
dash attack is the EGG-HVC-001 bump. That is the actual name of the mech in question, but goddamn, that's a stupid name. That aside, Eggman jets forward, thrusting out the bumpers of this mech, doing lots of knockback but little damage in comparison.
The up tilt is basically just Rob's up tilt, but it's a little bit slower this time.
The forward tilt is the drill claw as he extends the claw forwards as his hand spins around like a drill.
Now the down tilt, on the other hand, is the big... Hey, is this right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, the big boy stomp, and it's where he smashes his robot's foot down to the ground with the boot of another mech we'll be covering soon.
The get-up attack is the Psycho Spin Crack and uses the Psycho Egg's blades to spin horizontally while he gets up.
And finally, his ledge get-up is the Bonk Kick from Sonic the Fighters. He flips up and reverse donkey kicks his opponent forwards during this attack.
And with that out of the way, let's crack down on the smash attacks. The side smash takes out the iconic Wrecking Ball from the Eggmobile Model H and... oh! Well, now it's the Egg Breaker from Shadow the Hedgehog. Don't worry about it, this is about Eggman, not Sonic, so it's all good. That aside, he raises the spike ball up and slams it down.
Eggman's up smash is the Big Boy Punch, where he uses one of the arms from the Big Arms mech, which we'll be covering later. He aims it upwards and lets loose a huge spring-loaded punch towards his opponent.
Lastly, for the down smash, let's take a page out of another villain's book and mimic Sephiroth's down smash and spears a Dragoon lance downwards from the handy-dandy Dragoon Spear repository. It's also a gun.
Now this is what I've been waiting for!
For the neutral special, Dr. Eggman wields a gun. Nope, that isn't a joke, that isn't a reference, and is actually just the Eggwalker cannon from Sonic Adventure 2's Eggwalker mech. It sprouts up from the previously established Dragoon Spear repository, but if you look closely, it's just the Eggwalker gun in disguise. That aside, it shoots out missiles. But here's the cool part. If you hold down the button, the missiles will target the opponent automatically. Sure, it won't go very far, but it'll go far enough to be used situationally.
The side special uses the Egg Dragoon again, and shoots at a spear-like drill thing. This will be a chargeable projectile, where the more you build up potential energy, the faster it goes. You won't be able to aim this since the hitbox is already big enough to contact anyone in the general radius of the attack. It's actually quite like Robin's Thoron if you think about it.
The down special is the Gachapendor from Sonic Mania. It looks quite a bit different from the Mania incarnation, but the process is somewhat still the same. Eggman throws out a prize capsule containing one of 3 miniaturized versions of characters, being the Eggmobile D, also known as Drill Eggman, who speeds forwards, dealing small multi-hit damage to all who get hit by it, Marble Zone Eggmobile, where it's a floating Eggmobile with a downwards facing cannon, and it does what a cannon does, and the Amy Rose Doll, who grabs the opponents like a Mecha Koopa. You can also replace this with a Metal Sonic rendition, but that's really up to interpretation. It randomly cycles between the 3 and acts like a mix between Bowser Jr.'s Mecha Koopa and Brawl DDD's side special.
And finally comes the Death Egg Robot from Sonic 2, which is Eggman's up special. Now, you might be thinking, Connor, this is the end game boss material. This is the final Smash material, not the up special. And you'd be right, but I don't get a choice. Jacob has me at gunpoint.
Boy, don't look at me, it was the other one.
Whatever. With that aside, Eggman resprouts the legs of the Death Egg robots, previously seen in his down tilt. He uses those legs alongside the thrusters in the EMEC to propel himself upwards, after aiming with a familiar reticle, of course. Hey, Jacob, weren't you saying there were 3 people in this video earlier? Where's the third person? Wait, no, actually, who's the third person? Wait, actually, don't tell me. I have this whole clipboard full of names that I wrote down earlier as a prediction. Don't tell me. I swear if it's one of them, I win. Eggman time!
Kyler? What the fuck did you do to my wall?
Did he just steal my intro? Who is this guy?
This is Kyler, also known as Lorulian. He's the third person I've been alluding to and actually chose Eggman as part of the TFP2 because of being a patron. He absolutely helped out with this whole concept, so credit where credit's due.
Damn it.
Hey, glad to be here. A certain someone didn't invite me over to do the recording. So, pardon my intrusion.
Oi, Gumbo was in charge of sending out invites and such. Blame him, not me. But, alright, how about this? Kyler, why don't you tackle the aerials? Would that make you feel better? After that, we can figure out what you can do.
Fine. But I just want to say you're really going to be missing out. The aerials are a real treat.
Was that an egg pun?
Maybe. Funnily enough, almost all of these attacks are from mech parts that have been previously described. For instance, the Psycho Egg returns as the neutral air, spinning like a helicopter, similar to Ivysaur's. The forward and back aerials are from the Eggmobile H, and utilize the iconic Wrecking Ball. The forward air swings it forward overhead, spiking if it hits the sweet spot, and the back air swings it from the bottom out. The up air goes back to the Egg HVC, and points those bumpers above Eggman at a singular point, with high knockback if you sweet spot it. And lastly, the down air is the Screwmobile from Sonic 3. He takes out the blades and spins the rotors at the bottom of the EMEC. This doesn't spike.
Are you satisfied now, Kyler?
Yeah, I guess so.
Cool. Now clean up this mess. You ruined my wall, tore up my favorite poster, and destroyed the set.
Fine. Give me, like, a section.
Okay, hold on. How did he even break down the wall anyways?
It's a cartoon, Connor. Physics don't exist. For the grab, let's bust out the big arms again. This grab has a giant grab box, but a smallish range. The pummel crushes the opponent in their giant hand, similar to Master Hand and Crazy Hand.
Eggman's forward throw is the Egg Walker Burst, and Kyler said that it should be similar to Mewtwo's forward throw, in that the character gets thrown up into the air and then have a bunch of bullets shot at them to stun them.
The back throw is the slip around from Sonic the Fighters, where the EMEC's torso rotates and slams the opponent down behind Eggman.
Eggman's up throw is a backbreaker, while down throw is reminiscent of the standard big arms attack in Sonic 3, jumping up and slamming the opponent down into the ground.
This is his most powerful throw!
And with that, that's all the attacks, but there's just one more left, yo. Connor, you take this one.
Dr. Eggman's final smash is the Egg Fleet Barrage. This is a cutscene final smash that starts with Eggman throwing out an explosive that explodes. After that, Eggman commands the Egg Fleet to slam into you, followed by a massive egg carrier that just kinda... yeah.
With all the moves now said and done, let's scramble towards the back half of this character concept. Kyler, can you pull down that tab that just appeared up top?
Yeah, sure. What's this for?
These are all the stats for Eggman. No one really likes me talking about them, so I put them here in this handy dandy convenient tab for everyone to read.
Oh, neat.
For the taunts, we need to showcase Dr. Eggman's signature spunk. For the Sidetone, he yells, "Get a load of this," while spinning both EMEC claws.
The Upton has him yell, "All systems, full power!" turning the mech red before it cools down.
And in his down taunt, he summons Metal Sonic and poses while laughing. What a genius without his creations, am I right?
The Kirby hat will act a little bit different from what you would expect. Once more we were borrowing something from Bowser Jr., and instead of giving Kirby his own little EMEC and Eggwalker turrets, it just comes out of his mouth. Kirby opens wide, reveals an Eggwalker missile, and does what you would expect. For the alternate costumes, we had the toughest time finding suitable costumes. Eventually we just kinda gave up and took the path of least resistance and came up with this.
There's the default costume, the Eggman Nega palette, and then one color for each of the hard-boiled heavies. So that's one for the Heavy King, Heavy Gunner, Heavy Shinobi, Heavy Magician, and the Heavy Rider. Oh, and the Egg Pawn.
For the stage, we came up with the Eggman Land from Sonic Unleashed. I know this is probably not the choice you were expecting, probably something like the Death Egg or the Tropical Resort.
Which is what I wanted, but whatever.
But in terms of representing what Eggman's deal is, this is a damn good stage. This is a fun stage consisting of a flat main platform with a small raised area with gondolas with platforms coming in from the background, raising and lowering their platforms when they are and are not in frame. And each new stage needs a bunch of new music, and Sonic's music leaves something to be desired. So let's accompany the super peppy, upbeat Sonic songs with the more metal, evil music from Eggman's side of the coin.
There is Ruby Delusions, Metallic Madness Act 2, Eggman, and Eggman Land Remix, a Stardust Speedway Remix, Silver's Fight, For True Story, Vengeance is Mine, the Tropical Resort Medley, which comprises of Acts 1, 2, 3, and Versus Rototron, High Spec Robo Go, Rhythm and Balance, and What I'm Made Of, for a total of 13 songs. And if you ask me, that's pretty sweet.
And with that, all that's left is the classic mode and spirits. Let's start with the spirits. All of these spirits, unlike some others like LABO Man and Shovel Knight, are all completely new, so everything here is up to interpretation.
First up for the novice spirits is the tag team Orbot and Cubot as the neutral support spirit. This is a fight against a red and yellow Rob on Windy Hill Zone. These guys are going to tend to avoid conflict, taunt often, and reward with the Metal Box power-up on startup.
The Egg Pawn is next as a primary attack spirit and is a horde of Egg Pawn clad Eggmen on Eggman Land where the enemies are metal, are tiny on startup, and is a stamina battle starting with 10 HP for each Eggman. You are rewarded with weapon attack up.
OMOCHAO is a support defense spirit, and is a Squirtle in Green Hill Zone. The enemy is metal and starts with a Rocket Belt equip, and defeating it will reward you with a Smart Bomb on startup.
Chip from Sonic Unleashed is here as a support attack spirit and is a Team Skull Alt Pichu on Eggman Land who will suddenly become giant, is a stamina battle at 50 HP, and food spawns more often. You are rewarded with Giant Killer.
Moving to the advanced spirits, MEPHILES finally comes in as a primary attack spirit, and is a purple Sonic on Shadow Moses Island. The black hole is equipped, poisonous clouds cover the stage, the enemy is injured but extremely powerful, and Shadow appears more often out of assist trophies. You're rewarded with the black hole on startup, and MEPHILES is enhanceable to become Solaris.
The hard-boiled heavies are here as a primary attack spirit as well and is a fight against 5 Eggman, each in their own accompanying costume on Green Hill Zone. This is a 100 HP timed stamina battle and it rewards you with a rocket belt on startup.
Next up is the Ace Spirits, starting with Dark Gaia as a primary defense spirit. This is a fight against a meta Ridley on Battlefield Norfair. Ridley is giant, tends not to move, and the floor is lava and has random earthquakes. Defeating it will reward you with Lava Floor Resist.
Metal Overlord is here as a primary grab spirit and is a Mega Man on Pilot Wings. The enemy is giant, prefers special attacks, starts with a super scope, and shooting items appear more often like the Steel Diver, Killer Eye, Drill, Staff, Ray Gun, etc. You are rewarded with Metal Killer.
And lastly for the Ace Spirits is the Deadly Six as a support grab spirit, and is a fight against a purple Wario, King Dedede, a bluer Marth, a green Zero Suit Samus, Dark Pit, and a red Bowser on Windy Hill. This is a 200 HP stamina battle where Deku Nuts spawn more and are rewarded with Assist Killer.
Finally, there's the Legend Spirit, and it couldn't be anything other than the Death Egg Robot as a support attack spirit. This is against an Eggman on Omega Lilac Cruise. Eggman is giant on startup, has increased gravity, defense, and attack power, and is a stamina at 250 HP for him, 150 for you. You are rewarded with shooting attack double up. And all that leaves is the classic mode. This one is called Fall in Line, and the running theme is that all of these fights are against subordinates of Eggmans. As usual, this is 8 rounds, with one of them being a bonus round. Let's get started.
Round 1 is against a pair of small red and yellow Robs on Eggman Land, to reference Orbot and Cubot, with Reach for the Stars from Sonic Colors playing in the background.
Round 2 is a dark blue Sonic on Frigate Orpheon. Vengeance's Mind plays in the background and is a reference to Shadow.
Round 3 is against the light blue Inkling on Foreside where Open Your Heart is playing. This is a direct callback to Chaos.
Round 4 is against everyone from the Ace Spirits fight with the Deadly Six, and is actually still in Windy Hill, but this time has Wonder World playing in the background.
Round 5 is a Lucario on Port Town Arrow Dive, and is a reference to Infinite. Rhythm and Balance plays in the background.
Round 6 is a giant Metal Ridley. It's on Battlefield Norfair, for True Story plays in the background. It's Dark Gaia, you get it.
Round 7 is just the bonus round. Neat.
And the finale, Round 8, is against Gallium. It's accompanied by What I'm Made Of, and is a reference to Metal Overlord.
And that's it. Kyler, did you fix up that wall?
Just finished. Check it out.
That's not great.
Jacob, I did the best I could.
It's fine.
What? How?
It's just a cartoon, Kyler.
Bingo. Physics don't exist.
Ooh, let me try.
Did he just die?
No. He's just back to where he belongs.
And where's that?
Patreon netcode.
Huh. Neat.
Well, thanks for joining me, Connor. It's time I banish you back to where you belong. An eternally white void where all you can talk about is Super Monkey Ball 2 for the GameCube. A bibbity boppity, get off of my property.
Nothing's happened yet.
I'm lonely.